Cloud technology is always changing, and many companies struggle to keep up. What's worse is when your teams do not have the skills they need to achieve your company's goals. Now, maybe you've bought some in-person training, but that costs a fortune, and it's not very effective. Or maybe you've bought online courses, but those just offer videos or quizzes, and they don't provide your team with enough depth, and that's just not what you need. What if there was a better way for you and your company to stay ahead of the curve? Well, there is, and it's Linux Academy. We've taken the benefits from in-person and online training for a fraction of the cost. With our enterprise platform, your teams will get unlimited access to self-paced training for Linux and cloud technology, and the ability to empower your employees to not only get certified, but build practical skills. And you can't build practical skills without actually practicing, which is why we built hands-on training tools that are all hosted directly on the platform. A couple of these tools are learning activities and a cloud playground, which deploy real environments with real resources, and these are designed by our full-time training architects who are available to support your teams with their decades of IT operations experience. This means your team will become faster at troubleshooting issues, answering customer questions, and coming up with the best solutions, all without ever having to leave our platform. With our advanced reporting dashboard, not only can you gain insights into what they're learning, but most importantly, how well they're applying those new skills. So join IT professionals from other companies like GE, Rackspace, and Amazon who have already chosen Linux Academy's training platform. We'd love to help you hit your goals, so schedule your free demo today.
This week, we're gonna recap our first of the 3 content launches for this month. We have 2 more next week, but we did so many launches. Let's dive into this week's Linux Academy Weekly Update and figure out what's new. The Linux Academy team is on fire. We have a ton of our platform updates that are coming out over the next couple weeks. They've been working super hard on this. Now, we are also on a hiring spree. We're hiring sales engineers, customer success representatives, sales representatives, full stack Ruby developers, AWS training architects, Azure training architects. Check us out, linuxacademy.com/careers. But let's get into the real exciting news of this week. We launched new courses. Day 1 of 3 is now complete. What does this mean? This means 2 more content launches, so you can still enter in to win grand prize giveaways. You can still follow me on Twitter at AnthonyDJames, where I'm gonna give away another 3,000 gems to everybody that helps me share the wonderful news about our content launches, linuxacademy.com/live. Check it out. But what did we launch this past Tuesday? We went ahead and launched the Microsoft Azure AZ100 certification prep course. This is the best AZ100 certification prep course on the market with hands-on labs, interactive diagrams, instant labs. You name it, you got it. Kubernetes on AWS, you wanted it, you got it. Amazon EKS Deep Dive by Mark Richmond. Oh, we got more coming, hands-on independently consumable labs. More for the AWS Certified Big Data Specialty course, now out on the platform. Cloud Migration by Migrating Databases and Virtual Machines to AWS on the platform, just launched. Cloud Security Fundamentals had just launched this Tuesday. Kali Linux Deep Dive. Now this course, you are going to love this course. You learn how to build exploits. You don't just look at used ones. You learn how to approach it from a deep dive perspective through and through. You gotta take this Kali Linux Deep Dive course. Then we went ahead and also launched the CompTIA Pen Test for pen testing, Pen Test Plus certification prep course, available now underneath our security section. And then we also launched the Git Quick Start on our Linux Academy platform, followed by a whole bunch of hands-on labs. this just?
This is it right here. This is the live stream. We are back.
There's no video.
Another week. No,
Awesome.
It's just us.
Yeah, so here we are. We're back. I'm Anthony James, founder and CEO of LinuxAcademy.com. Now, this is content launch day 2 on Tuesday of this week. Our last one is on next Tuesday because we have a lot more content. Now, as always, I'm joined by the Chris Fisher here.
Yo,
Chris
hello.
Fisher.
I'm the Chris Fisher, VP of Community and host of many fine shows over at JupiterBroadcasting.com, at ChrisLAS on the tweeters, and there's our various links right there if you want to check those out. I'd say if I were a betting man or lady, Anthony D. James on the Twitter is where I'd go. Giveaways, things like that.
Gyms. I'm a little behind on my gym giveaways this week. We traveled. I took the family. There's supposed to be a snowstorm up where some family is. And so we went up there and we got the leftover snow from the previous storm. But it completely missed, of course. So we drive 8 hours to go see the snow. It doesn't snow a lot in Texas. I don't know if you know this or not.
No, it sure is windy though.
It is windy, and it's a brisk like 60 degrees this morning. So that's really nice. But we're also joined by our amazing training architect team, and Thomas Hazlitt is filling in for Terry Cox today. So Thomas, why don't you introduce everybody and say hi?
Sure, absolutely. How's everybody doing today? I'm happy to be here for our Q1 launch date number 2. I'm excited for everything that's going to be released today, and I think all of our students out there are going to be really happy as well. So we got a lot of training architects with us today. So first, from our Linux team, we have El Kraut, Stosh Oldham, and Michael Christian. From our DevOps team, we have Travis Thompson and Keith Thompson. And then from our Google team, so let's give you a little bit of insight into what might be releasing today. We have Matt Ulason, Joseph Larry, and Eric Frick. So I'm really excited to get started with all the releases and see what we have coming out today. So I'll kick it back to you guys, and I guess let's just get started.
Thanks, Tom.
So what I would say is one of our biggest sets, one of the big news stories for this show today is what we're not launching, but we're going to talk about it because we are going to launch it throughout the quarter. But our lab services team at Linux Academy has successfully developed and deployed out to our training architect development software new Google hands-on labs. So this means that our training architects now have the tools to be building Google hands-on labs, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today because that's a pretty...
Seems like that could lead to some things.
It could lead to some Google hands-on labs, I think, is really what it might lead to. But let's jump in here. Now remember, at Linux Academy, we love our students, and we have core values here, and one of our core values is we put our students' futures first, right? And I want to talk about just 10 seconds how we exhibited doing just that recently. Just recently, we launched our AZ 100 course, and we had a lot of people that wanted it, and we said, look, we want to make sure you're set up for success by having hands-on labs, interactive diagrams, flashcards, and practice exams, but most importantly, 100% exam objective coverage. Now, just last night I saw a lot of great Reddit conversation over Chad's AZ 100 course, but we pushed launching the course. We were late by 2 weeks. I won't even say we were late. We were on time, but we weren't the first provider by 2 weeks, but yet the course is amazing. It is above and beyond. It is an industry leading course as of now.
Absolutely.
And it's just one of those things that we do. And we're never going to launch a course just to make a sale. That's not what we're about here. We're about training and fun and success and our students. And that's what we love doing. So
one of the things that's great too is the Azure stuff just keeps getting better and better. And my interest is building. So it's just valuable to just be able to switch over to that courseware, just start taking those courses, start learning about Azure as it obviously is not going away. Getting more and more knowledgeable about those things because the industry is constantly changing, and it's so nice to see. I mean, 2 weeks? No, you guys weren't late. I mean, when it's done right, that's on time.
It's on time.
So yeah, it's so nice to see that stuff landing, and there is more coming, and more coming for Google Cloud as well.
Well, they hit the internal deadline. So
yeah, exactly.
For holiday season, they did really good too. So
it's ready when it's ready.
Props there. Exactly.
And the nice thing is like staying on top of all this, getting easier all the time with the mobile app.
Oh yeah. Well, so what's really great is, and I think next launches we're going to have in April, maybe we'll even have a special show in March with our development team, is we are in the middle of our rewrite. Where we had this monolith platform and we've been rewriting it to microservice-oriented architecture. And what this is doing is this is opening up some game-changing new functions for us. For example, we got our new flashcard feature sitting out there ready to be deployed. We're doing some QA testing on it, but you can fork entire decks instead of just cards. We have a new note-taking functionality that's going to allow you to do a lot more and integrate within the courses. We have a new kind of flow of design. We have a lot of great things coming that are just, we're making sure that we're ready for it before we push it out. But we're going to bring the team in. That's going to really empower a ton of stuff going on our mobile devices, right? You're going to want study groups. Yep, they're coming. You're going to want learning paths. Yep, they're coming. Course scheduler, good. New version of course scheduler. Lots of things coming, so it's pretty exciting.
There's tons of good stuff in there now, like offline playback. That's in there now, so you can grab that.
And you can do flashcards.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're on one of these 2 phone operating systems, you may have heard of iOS or Android, there's an app available for you. Go get it in the respective stores. I think it's a great opportunity to learn on the go, too.
In the respective stores?
The respective stores.
Get the Android app from the App Store and get the iOS app from Google Play.
Yeah, that'll work. It's hard to sometimes know where to start, Anthony.
It is.
It is hard to know.
Well,
if there was some tool Linux Academy offered to help
like learning paths.
Like a learning path.
But here's what I'll say is it still doesn't cover, the thing is what's so great about technology and all the content we have at Linux Academy is every single career path and starting point that you can come up with literally exists within our content. So just on Twitter, I was interacting with a student over the weekend and they said, hey, the new Learning Center doesn't show the courses and the list from top down for me to consume in the order. And I said,
where do I start is essentially the question.
And one of the biggest misconceptions about our previous listing page is that it was top-down approach. And really, it was just kind of ordered on latest content and by complexity, beginner, intermediate, advanced, so on and so forth. So the learning paths are the place that you really got to check out, and then the Learning Center is meant for content discovery. But I'll tell you what, sometimes though, you just don't know. And we're working on new products to help you find things easier, better learning paths that we're launching, career-based learning paths. But we're here, full-time, 7 days a week. We even now have overnight support coverage as of Monday, which is really amazing.
Huge.
And we don't outsource our support. It's all in-house because we care about our students. And ask us. He asked me on Twitter. I said, hey, what you're interested on? What's your goals? I put together some courses, said this is what you should take. All of our training architects do that. Thomas does that. Keith does that. Everybody does that. And so make sure you check us out. It's the way to go.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've mentioned it already, but this is the official sort of tease. There is more Azure training content coming. Last week, AZ100 went out.
Just sound like it's coming next Tuesday.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus here, but AZ300 could be launching very soon, perhaps. I mean, I don't know.
I'm going to be excited. I actually don't know what's launching today.
All right, well, let's get into the announcements.
Let's get into the announcements.
This first one's really great, especially those of you wrapping your head around Kubernetes. It is monitoring Kubernetes with Prometheus.
Oh, and I believe Travis, tell us about this, but I believe you also use Grafana in here, don't you?
Grafana. I try and cover as much as the spectrum with Prometheus as possible. So we jump into things like using the node exporter, and all this is, again, being built on top of Kubernetes. Now, I am making a few assumptions here that you are already familiar with Kubernetes and how to set things up. So I kind of glance over that material very lightly, but mainly this is kind of more focused around Prometheus. So from how to use the expression browser in Prometheus, how to go and configure Prometheus using service discovery, how to go and manually define your targets using node exporter. And we do cover a few Grafana graphs, but it's mainly just like how can you go and monitor your applications that you deploy out to Prometheus. Excuse me.
Really useful, though. And also I noted on there the creating alerting rules, which looks pretty sweet. That's got to be very useful for students.
Yes, indeed. So we do have a few courses that touch on Prometheus, but we really don't get into alerting using Alert Manager. So one of my labs I made sure to go and to find out was how to go and create alerting rules and then actually use it with the Alert Manager.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We actually run several, I think we run about 8 different Kubernetes clusters across regions at Linux Academy, and part of the team uses Prometheus and Grafana, and I'll just say, it's just fun to look at. You just pull it up on the screen, you're like,
it's gorgeous.
Whoever designed that got it right.
Yeah.
It's just, I want to stare at it.
That's why I think there's half the reason why there's so much interest in it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Great one, Travis.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, well, Kenny couldn't join us today, but this is still one that I know the students are looking forward to. Linux Operating System Fundamentals. This is all fresh, new, updated stuff here with 1.75 hours of learning, 14 course videos, and 29 flashcards. Stosh, are you sitting in for Kenny on this one?
I am sitting in for Kenny, and I have the distinctive advantage of having already taken this course and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good. Tell us about it.
So it's a really great course. It focuses on Linux from the perspective of people who may have heard the term Linux and may not be familiar with what that really means and whether or not it's an operating system. It talks about the history of Linux, how it came about, and a lot of the key players involved in making Linux as mainstream as it is. And when I say that, people might think, well, this is really intro beginner stuff. I don't have any interest in that. I can tell you, as someone with 15 years of experience, I watched it and learned some pretty neat facts about the Linux operating system that I was completely unaware of.
Yeah, the history stuff sounds like it's particularly interesting.
Well, so one of the great parts of a shorter course like this that covers a lot of that is, when you go learn AWS and Azure, Linux is just going to be on part of the stack. With 50% of virtual machines on Azure Linux and over 80% on AWS Linux, you just got to have some fundamentals. But a lot of times, hey, I don't want to go through an entire certification course. This is the place that you start. Learn how to navigate some things, get what you need to be able to do it, and move on to that AWS component if you'd like.
Well,
so
and
it's really great.
I like what Stosh said there too. Myself, I've been using Linux since the 90s, and I'm self-taught for the most part, and I've used courses just like this to augment my training over the years to fill in the gaps that I missed when I self-taught. So it's very useful, even for somebody like me who's been around for a long time.
Even when you think you use everything, like different use cases and how, it's just, there's so much in there. It's amazing.
Okay, well, let's keep going. This is fun. Another fundamentals that I think is extremely useful, network subnetting fundamentals by Michael. And Michael, tell us a bit about this one.
Hey, thanks. By the end of this course, you will have a basic understanding of networking and an in-depth understanding of binary and network masking. You'll be able to assess and calculate the IP range of any network, how many host addresses are available on that network, and how many networks of a certain size you could create out of a larger network. That's what subnetting is, right? And lastly, you'll have an understanding of subnet implementation in an environment, as well as some benefits of network segmentation in general. This is a really cool fundamentals course. I have really enjoyed working on it, and it's got a nice, fun, and useful interactive diagram.
Perfect.
So think about it. You go and you're taking the AWS CSA, right? And you got to have basic understanding of subnetting and networks to build virtual private clouds. Now the course, we don't like having a bunch of fluff because then a course is 90 hours long. So if you're like, hey, I just don't understand subnetting, I need to go understand subnetting. Subnetting is one of those things. For some reason, I always choose to try not to follow subnetting. So I was really excited about this course.
Guilty.
Yeah, because I like DevOps deployment, subnets, let network. But Michael, I think really the big question on everybody's mind about this course is those guitars behind you. So it looks like
sweet, man.
do you play guitar? Did I not know this?
I do play guitar. I play a lot of guitar, acoustic and electric, primarily blues, rock. I get together and play bluegrass every Thursday night, and it has really been a fun hobby that I developed as an adult, right? I was, 40 years old when I started playing, and I play a lot, and I've gotten better over the years.
Next live show intro.
I know.
That's what it's going to be.
Or next company event. Maybe you could be the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Also, rumor has it, Anthony, that there may be an Easter egg in this particular one. I don't know if we want to give it away, Michael, but there's a decent Easter egg.
Is there an Easter egg?
So, renowned physicist and astronomer Carl Sagan is hidden in my interactive diagram. And maybe, Anthony, the first person that finds it can get a gem or two.
Done. How many gems do you want to give away for the first person to screenshot it? At you or at me or what? You tell me.
Let's give 50.
50.
All right.
Done.
All right.
How do they get it? How do they need to send a screenshot to your Twitter, to mine, or the post in the Linux Academy community? How do we do this?
Ooh, the community.
Let's have them
Slack.
post in community.
Yeah,
community. All right.
Let's do that.
All
community Slack.
Community or community Slack?
Either one.
Either one.
Whichever they have.
If you do it inside the community, we'll for sure see
it.
Yeah. There's 7,000 people on the community Slack.
It might go by fast.
Yeah, and it might go by fast. And if you haven't checked that out, shameless plug, slack.linuxacademy.com. But secret Easter egg giveaway, first person to find it in the subnetting course, posts it inside the Linux Academy community. The first person to do it, 50 gems.
That's the requirement.
That's
worth it.
That's kind of fun.
Plus, you're learning subnetting at the same time.
And I think we're going to discount the coffee mugs on the Swag for Gem store. So
time for me to cash in.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep giving away some gems and do a little trivia with the chat room?
Oh, I like trivia.
Anybody watching live now has a chance to win. What Unix-like OS helped inspire Linux?
Windows.
No, I don't think so.
The DOS version, of course, command, right?
Yeah, everybody knows that robust DOS shell. What Unix-like OS helped inspire? All right, so we're seeing BSD. Well, Unix isn't a valid answer, guys, because we're saying Unix-like, so you can't say Unix.
Oh, he got you.
All right, hold
was
on.
tricky.
We got some answers rolling
Yeah.
in, and those of you who said Minix nailed it.
It's Minix.
So a few of you will be getting contacted by our hard-working production fix.
Which, by the way, let's
Prediction
give
fix.
them a quick acknowledgement because there's like 6 people in this room back here
Yeah.
trying to control us.
You
and
guys
make
should
us
say hi
behave.
real quick. There you go.
There they are.
Isn't that awesome?
There's a walkie-talkie
We
there.
got a walkie-talkie
I had no idea.
now.
We're gonna. It's right. I had no clue that was sitting there.
Yeah, if they need to tell us something real
Yeah.
quick, like stop picking your nose, they can just say it over the thing.
Man, they got this down.
I wouldn't have known.
and
All
if
right.
you didn't see it, it's 30 gems.
Yeah,
is what we're giving away.
I know, that's
Yeah.
not bad. That's like maybe a mug. I don't know. I actually don't know. That's about how many gems I have total, so I'm not feeling that great.
You should learn more in Linux Academy
I
because
know.
as you're training, you get awarded gems.
What?
I'm just saying.
All right, well, let's do some more training, like the Puppet Quick Start by L. L, this looks like another great one for folks to get started, and with Puppet too. Tell us a bit about it.
So in the Puppet Quick Start, we learn how to use Puppet by basically creating an Nginx module. And through that module, we figure out how to use Hira, how to use parameters, how to use facts and factor. And we do this with open source Puppet. So it also gives you a baseline to eventually build off that with enterprise Puppet, if that is the way you go. And we have a nice, fun, interactive diagram you can use. And if you don't feel like watching all the videos, you can do the same thing by taking the hands-on lab from installation to catalog converge, which will also walk through using Puppet from the very first install to creating a whole module and getting that module to work on a node that you're managing.
Nice.
So, a little bit about Elle, if nobody knows. She was our 4th full-time hire back in 2015. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
2015. And this past December, she got the Founders Award.
Right.
For, like, how much she cares and works towards the students and
care of
that
the
type of
students.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
a little bit about Elle. Let's see if we can make her blush.
I
There
think
we
we
go.
did. I think it's successful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al. This looks like a great one. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
but these interactive diagrams, I mean, that could be useful down the road if you just want a quick refresher, right? I mean, hands-on labs, again, same thing. You want to just dive in and just make sure your skills are up to date.
Well, so, the great thing about the interactive diagrams is when we approach training at Linux Academy, they say, how do we teach even conceptual things in a practical hands-on manner to help you grasp what's happening, right? And so the point of the interactive diagrams is to help build on top of one thing after, and you can click back and forth and see what's occurring. And so, when you can't do a hands-on lab, you can do an interactive diagram.
It's visual, too, which is so helpful.
Absolutely. And the thing is we actually kind of open sourced them a little bit. From the point is you can share them out and you can link to them and that type of stuff. It's not a members, it's a little known secret. It's not just a members only thing. Our members do have access, but we want to try to get as many people as possible learning the stuff.
That's awesome. Well, let's keep going with more stuff to learn, like system tooling with Go from Keith. Yes.
What you got here, Keith?
This looks good.
Yeah, so we're going to go back a year, and we launched the Python for sysadmins, and I don't even think there was like a woo or a celebration before somebody in the chat was like, should have been Go. So we came back to it, and here we go. It's a pretty fun course. Go has become exceedingly popular over the last few years just because it's used so widely when you're building things like command line tools and a lot of like just systems, especially around containers. So if you don't know it, Docker and Kubernetes are both written in Go. So having a little bit of Go under your belt can help you if you ever run into problems with just using those pieces of software. It's really good for building small services. It's a powerful language that's easy to package. So we go through the very basics of the language, through building some of your own tools, and then get you started just looking at what the ecosystem is like and figuring out how you can leverage the strong open source foundation that Go provides you.
Nice, Keith. Nice.
You're starting to see Go pick up a lot. And Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like we're starting to see Go a lot be picked up associated with DevOps because it's so good with some of those microservices that are used to automate cloud architectures and Kubernetes and whatnot.
Yeah, well, when I think of DevOps in general, there are a few things that I kind of think of, but one of them is HashiCorp. And a few years ago, they basically started rewriting all of their utilities in Go. So you see things like Nomad is written in Go and Terraform's written in Go. So there are a lot of tools that you're going to run into that are using this. And that works out easily because then it's not a matter of, oh, I really like Ruby. I should probably go check out Chef, or I'm a Python guy. I'm going to go use Ansible. Those tools are still great and you can still totally use those. But if you want to leverage the expertise of everybody who's kind of already in the DevOps field and who has learned Go over the last few years, now they can kind of bounce from project to project and help one another out to build up an ecosystem of tools that work really well together.
I'm actually really excited to go through this course. And Keith, you'd mentioned it. You did the Python 2.7 course, then you did a Python 3 course, then you did some Chef courses, and now you have the System Tooling to Go course. And I think, rumor has it, that you're working on a just dedicated equivalent to Go for Python as well this quarter.
Well, so this Go course is sort of an equivalent to the original System Tooling with Python.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
course.
that's right.
I'm working on Intro to Python development. So before, when I was teaching Python, I didn't cover things like object orientation, because if you're just building tools for yourself, you actually don't need that, and you can get by a long way without using that. So now I'm gonna cover all of that. I'm probably not gonna jump so far off the deep end as I did my first time around, where I took you through some very, very hard problems and expected you to do some test-driven development and big README-driven development stuff in a project. But you're going to be able to learn everything you need to kind of start if you're not really sure on how to go through about programming anything in general, and then through learning the basics that can be applied to really any programming language using some best practices along the way.
Yeah, and I think the Python 3 course is one of the highest rated courses from Thumbs Up standpoint as well. So congratulations on that, Keith.
Yes. All right. Thanks. Good one. Well, how do you actually try some of this stuff? How do you actually try any of this stuff?
Oh, so you want me to talk about some of our labs?
Yeah,
that we got
maybe.
going on?
I mean, you could, things like that. We have a bunch of special things.
Well, let's pull up. Can we pull up a demo? Can we pull up that screen?
Yeah, I'll pull up. Let me summon the magic of Chrome for you here.
All right, bam. So looks like I was almost prepared for this. So if you haven't checked this out, this is our new cloud playground. Now, in the introduction course to Linux Academy, the new one that just came out last week, we talk about how this works. We actually just made some changes where we support kind of deprecated credentials from older things. We're going through some of our older courses, making sure that we're all up to par so there's no confusion. But you get units, you can launch it. It's basically your own cloud lab.
So I'm looking at like a VM manager here.
Absolutely. Well, there's more to it than that. You even have the instant terminals and cloud consoles, where the cloud consoles just let you deploy out a sandbox environment to play. Hey, AWS just came out with something new. I want to try it out.
Oh, that's great.
We still got some more expansion to do on here that we're about to deploy out. Some of the restrictions, we want to make sure that those are clear. We're also going to work on the Azure sandbox environment and the Google sandbox environment, all under development. But really what I want to show is, check this out. So this is one of the things, the changes they made. You could type in for advanced search here. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on Go to Advanced Search, because it's my favorite page now. Because really, I can find anything that I'm looking for. I can look for my hands-on lab learning activities. But what I just found out today, and you think I would have known this, I didn't connect the dot, is that
that's fresh.
It's fresh. When you don't have a filter, so there's announcements here that we haven't done yet. But when you don't have a filter, it shows in order the most recent content that was launched.
Anthony leaks.
Just like you can do that on Learning Center. Or you can say, hey, I'm looking.
So what you're saying though is you can go to the advanced search page here and you just want to see chronologically the newest stuff that's come out.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
Right there.
It's just very simple.
Very simple. And you say, hey, I got an hour at lunch. I want to learn something that's related to AWS.
You just change that little length slider.
I got an hour.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm about. Look at that.
I don't know, maybe some AWS.
Yeah.
And then I got some different labs I can do and search for. I can just type in, EKS.
Yep.
See what I could find. So really cool stuff on here. So I just wanted to demo that because advanced search is kind of like our best known secret. It just came out a few weeks ago. And just the robustness for finding content. We had a lot of people saying, I like the order. Hey, go back to what are you doing?
All right, I thought you were done.
We had a lot
Summon
of
Chrome.
We had a lot of people that said, I like the order. Right, and so this actually shows order as well when you submit it, but it's based off of date. But you can even sort and search by what you've completed. So I want to look at all the things that I've completed, and based off this filter, I haven't completed any of those things. I can change the filter. I can search for incomplete items. So hey, what have I not learned related to EKS in AWS? Because I want to make sure I learn all of it. And so it's just really, really flexible from that standpoint.
But it just looks so good and clean too. I love the way that looks.
Oh, it's super fast as well. Yeah. It's super fast. And so the back end on it, this is something our dev team did, and it's really, really, really good.
That's great. Well, there you go. That's a good quick tip. Really.
Well, did we cover instant labs?
You want to?
Let's do that. One more second.
All right, summon Chrome.
I'm gonna make our director of lab services sweat a little bit. So this looks like a lab.
My favorite thing we do.
Auto scaling an EKS cluster.
Let's just see how this goes.
I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna open up. Now, the thought process here is that because it deploys out, right? It deploys out resources.
It's building real infrastructure.
And that takes time. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. Well, who's got time for that?
Ain't nobody.
Is everybody as nervous as me? No, I'm just kidding. There you go.
It's gonna be fine.
You click start. Bam! Your lab is available. Oh no!
That's all right. You at least got a message saying it's gonna be a hot
Ryan,
second.
if you're watching, you got to come in here. Whoever's watching the stream, we got to go grab Ryan.
Oh, we need a Ryan.
Oh no, that's not good.
This is probably.
Where's he at?
This is the best not launching screen though I could have ever seen. Look at that. You're plugging content releases and you got a countdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pro failed to launch screen.
Well, so what's funny is what we're actually implementing is because the way that the system works, it's about 98% instant labs, and some of our older ones don't have it. So depending on the age, we're still migrating it. But what will happen is if you get the way it's being coded in there, and it's not out yet, but if you get this and actually has to deploy the lab, it's going to award you gems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's going to say, hey, here's 100 gems because an instant lab wasn't available. But let's go.
Yeah, and you need more gems. You really need, only 39,000.
Well, rough. I mean, I like swag. I don't know what to tell you.
You do like swag.
So here, let's check out this one. So we'll go. That's a practice exam. Let's find a learning activity because we're gonna make it. We're gonna show a good one.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think Ryan's sweating right now.
Building a command line Go tool.
All right. I think we were just talking about Go. I feel like doing that.
Let's see if it's going to work. Because I don't know how old the one I was selecting.
Yeah, that's
like I said,
thing.
all of the ones, that EKS one, because there's some EKS in older courses. So I don't know if it was dedicated to the new course. So we're going to have all of them fully migrated before the end of the quarter. But I'm going to click Start Activity. And there it is. There's the instant lab. So I must have clicked on an old lab.
So this is one that's on the new infrastructure.
So yeah, this is on the new infrastructure. They're all going to be on the new infrastructure.
And just like that, you've got the IP to SSH2, you've got the username, the password, and you've got the course video.
Yeah, and this is a web-based terminal. If I click on it, it's going to open it up for me.
No port forwarding or nothing like that. No router needed. Just
instant terminal. If I have port 22 on a corporate network blocked, everything has an architectural diagram of the goal that we're ended up going for.
That's great.
And then bam, you're done. Yeah.
There's
tons of Keith, great details here.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. This is a good one.
And then this one has multiple videos. You have the introduction and the solution to go through.
That is slick.
Yeah.
That is so easy to learn. Man, what do you say?
We should move on.
We should maybe do a few more releases?
I think we should.
Maybe we should. Okay.
I think we should.
All right, well, let's do Ansible. Ansible is obviously a big deal, and getting started and getting your head around Ansible is more important than ever. And Stosh is back to tell us about the Ansible Quick Start.
You gotta change.
Didn't I? You know what? I no longer summon the power of Chrome. I summon the power of slideshows, but...
You gotta still change the screen.
Well, why don't we talk to Stosh while I work on it? Stosh, tell us about your course.
Yeah, so Ansible Quick Start is designed for people who have heard about Ansible and have a fair degree of experience with general Linux foundation, working with the system. You can go into the Quick Start course, and as little as a couple of hours, you can come out with a pretty good foundation of how to work with Ansible.
So useful, I have to say. So 25 flashcards, 12 course videos, and 2.25 hours of learning. Is there anything in particular to mention about this course? Anything that people should know before going in, or could they go in completely clean to the subject?
Yeah, you don't need any real background on Ansible at all. As long as you have a basic understanding of Linux, changing directories, working with files, that kind of thing.
Okay.
You don't have to be RHCSA or even close. You can come in with a general understanding of Linux, and I think you will find success.
So just the basics of Linux, and you'll be set.
Right. If you can get to an SSH terminal, I think you'll be in good shape.
Okay. And if not, we've got courses for that. So
we also have Cloud Playground.
We've got courses for that.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, there you go. Ansible Quick Start. It's official, and it's needed. I'm really glad. All right, what do you say we do some more gem giveaways?
It's needed. We have like Ansible certification. We had the Ansible Quick Start. This is a refresh. We had the Ansible Deep Dive. Stosh is working on 3 Ansible courses or something like that this quarter. There's Ansible all over the place. We got brand new chef courses. There's so much stuff everywhere.
Now, we have a trivia question, and I actually don't know the answer to this one. So let's see if the chat room can get it. What year was Go first released publicly? What year was Go first released publicly? 2009.
I was a year off in
2009.
Somebody already got it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, why are you giving it away?
Because they already got it. I thought it was 2007. So there you go. That's what I knew. 2009. Yeah, man, chat room was fast on that one. Well, I mean,
first off, it's Google's language. So.
That's true. And we are here talking about Go today.
Yeah, so I mean, they should be able, that's a quick Google right there.
I feel like there's another really important topic that we could use a quick start on. Something that people have to deal with all the time now in our industry, and that's Git.
Well, to be clear, we need a rebuilt quick start because so many changes have happened.
Yeah.
that are other
Updates.
Quick Start. So we
That's
keep
an
our
important
content
thing to
updated.
note, right?
Yeah.
You got to update the content, and that's what this is about. And Stosh is back to tell us about another fantastic Quick Start. I'm betting this one, Stosh, is about Git. What do you think?
I would think you were right. It is literally the exact same concept as the Ansible course in terms of getting started quickly in a couple of hours with little to no exposure to the tool up front. And it's really kind of cool that it released alongside of the Ansible Quick Start because they really kind of go hand in hand. With Ansible, it's important to source control your playbooks, to keep track of little changes here and there, especially if you're working in a team, and Git facilitates that. And we talk a lot about that in the course.
Right on. Gosh, those are good ones. Stosh, you're going to be keeping me busy with this stuff. That's for sure. Very good. And it looks like an essential source control with Git hands-on lab too. Very useful. It's a great use of a hands-on lab.
I'm gonna just because I love hands-on labs and I love the instant labs and I love giving Ryan a hard time because I work with him on this stuff.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about the hands-on labs, the way the training architects came up with building it for the team, is they're independently consumable. Right? So that's why they're searchable and indexable in Learning Center and Advanced Search, because even if you take it outside the context of a course, you're going to learn the objectives as defined on there.
Yeah.
So you're just like, hey, I want to learn this. Bam, if there's a hands-on lab just for that, you don't have to worry about the videos. We will be indexing and adding individual video support to our Advanced Search too, but hands-on labs are where it's at. And then no time at all to deploy on the new labs.
That is great. It's a great way to learn. So maybe you're moving into the cloud. In fact, maybe you're moving into Google's cloud and you need to get your head around it. Well, Matt's here to tell us about the Google Cloud concepts. Matt looks like a very important course for people that are getting started with Google Cloud.
Yes, it is. All the time we are asked by people, hey, I want to learn more about Google Cloud. There's so much stuff out there. I don't have much experience with it. Where exactly do I start? And this Google Cloud Concepts course acts as your start here location for the absolute beginner. Doesn't matter if you've had zero experience to working with cloud technology in general. What this course does is just over an hour long, and we go over an oversimplification of an explanation of what the cloud is in general, key cloud concepts. That's the foundation of everything like scalability, elasticity, fault tolerance, and simply explained really the core key pieces of how Google Cloud works, like what is an instance, what's a VPC, and kind of act as a kind of a beginner's foundation that whether you're looking at it from a business perspective, just trying to get some general sales points, or want to use that as a foundation for the more advanced stuff to get certified, that's a great start here location no matter what your previous beginner experience level is.
Very great, very great. And Matt, you live and breathe Google stuff, so you are the man to teach this. And would there be any real basics that I need to know before I start something like this? Do I need to know Linux fundamentals or anything like that?
None whatsoever. We don't touch command line at all. We don't touch Linux at all. Okay. To kind of date myself, we go hooked on phonics style for even if you have no technology background at all. We basically make it so simple that your grandma could probably take the course and at least get a basic understanding of Google Cloud. And then you can go more advanced from there, of course.
That's great.
Well, yeah, there's a ton of tracks. I think we have 100% certification coverage for Google. We're adding the Google hands-on labs this quarter. Then I know you're working on a new Google Architect certification course this quarter. But so it also really sounds like this course is one for somebody, it could be for IT managers or salespeople that need to understand the cloud or how it relates. So it sounds like this is one of those great courses for just getting started on there.
Mm-hmm. Great work, Matt. Great work. In fact, we have another one kind of along these lines. It's Google Cloud Functions by training architect Joseph. Joseph, tell us about the Google Cloud Functions course.
Hey there. Well, I'm really excited about Cloud Functions. The more I got into it, the more I really loved it because it just fit exactly what I like about finding ways to make things work together. And that's what Cloud Functions is all about. It's a serverless, event-driven, managed platform for connecting cloud services. And not only can you connect Google Cloud services with it, but you can connect third-party services. So in the course, we cover all the fundamentals, of course, diving into events, triggers, basic cloud services that you can on Google and how you can access them, deploying cloud functions in a variety of scenarios, and using some of the more powerful ones as well, like Cloud SQL and Stackdriver. We even go into running system tests with Cloud Functions and how to incorporate Cloud Functions into a CI/CD pipeline. And at the end of the course, we rounded off by covering 3 really cool use cases. We go step by step with the use cases and showing you things like working with Cloud SQL and how to access that, retrieve data, and then taking it even further and bringing in multiple cloud functions using some of the more advanced Google machine learning APIs to pull in a photo, retrieve the information from it if there's some text on it, extract that, translate it into 5 languages, and put it out there. So really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. I am a huge believer in event-driven functions. I used to have all this automation stuff based around just like schedules, cron, and changing it to an event-driven system is so much next level. When people start to wrap their heads around this is going to be a very popular course.
I mean, this is Google's version of serverless. Google version of like
huge. And being able to trigger stuff with events is so fantastic when you're trying to automate things like continuous integration and whatnot. It's choice.
Did you know I love the internet?
Yeah. Oh, me too.
I love the internet.
I love
it. It's the greatest
thing. All right. Well, why don't we do a little trivia?
Let's do it.
Say? I love the trivia. Everybody's getting gems today. What is the cloud concept of automatically creating and removing servers in order to match current demand?
He didn't really mean everybody's getting gem. It was a hypothetical that we're giving away a lot of gems.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, technically, I guess.
Careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
When you got a chat room, you got to be
careful. You got to be specific.
Everybody has the opportunity to win gems today. If you know the answer to this, what is the cloud concept of automatically creating and removing servers in order to match current demand?
I think Aaron got it. I think Aaron got one of those.
Not bad. Yeah. All right, let's go for it. Answer is scalability and
Yeah, autoscaling is the mechanism that makes it happen, but the concept, and this is taught in our CSA courses on AWS and our other cloud courses, the concept is elasticity, right? You got a pair of sweatpants, okay? Yeah. You go to Thanksgiving, your sweatpants expand because you need additional room.
Demand.
When you're done, they go back down. You don't have to worry about it. That's
quite
elasticity.
Go back down, but eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't got to get a new pair of sweatpants.
Right,
You know, you don't got to spend money on it. You don't got to do all that.
Maybe the new demand is the new normal for me.
Hey, we have people saying I was first. I didn't see it, but the good news is we got a great team that will take care of you if you're worse.
They're watching multiple chat rooms and they're grabbing multiple folks. So don't worry if you missed out. Yeah, scalability and elasticity. All right, well, how about some more content?
Let's do it.
Migrating virtual machines and databases to Google Cloud by Eric. Eric, are you on there, Eric? I didn't see you this morning. Eric, tell us about Good. Tell us about migrating virtual machines and databases to Google Cloud.
So this was a really fun class to do. Last week we introduced the equivalent of this for the AWS platform, so we didn't want to be left out on the Google Cloud side. So in this class, we look at all kinds of migration techniques. First, we look at some of the overview and the concepts, really the best practices for developing a migration plan, the importance of establishing a baseline. So that when you migrate a real system to the cloud, how do you know that it's performing well? It's not just about the mechanical aspects, but is it performing as it performed before? So, rarely in a real world system is there a lift and shift where you can just pick it up and migrate it to the cloud. So we talk about some of the fundamental aspects of planning a successful migration and also selecting some candidate systems for your first pilot migrations and building on that success. In the next section of the class, we talk about database migrations, both heterogeneous and homogeneous migrations, and how you would move those migrations to the cloud. So we actually run through a sample migration of a MySQL database from an on-premise database to the cloud. In the next section of the class, we actually dive into virtual machine migrations and some of the tools that GCP offers to support that, as well as they have 2 cloud migration services that they offer free to their customers. One of them is the Velostrada service, and the other one is the Cloud Endure service. So in an example, I talk about and show step-by-step how to do a live migration from a running Linux server up to the Google Cloud. It's pretty cool. And then in the last example of this section, we talk about the GCP support for migrating virtual images to the cloud, and I show you step-by-step how to do that as well. In the last section of the class, we talk about then after you've moved your system to the cloud, what are some of the functions and features that you can take advantage of in GCP to easily extend the functionality of your system in the cloud? So pretty quick and straightforward class, but some fun examples to look at with respect to migration.
Sounds Very useful, and like a course that more people in the future will be using too. I have a feeling things are going that direction. Eric, thank you very much. Now we have something kind of special for the next one. This is kind of like a preview a little bit. Like they even put big disclaimers on.
Some of it's out there already.
Yeah, but you see here it says early February at the top. So we got to talk about this carefully. And I thought maybe we could bring on our expert, Thomas Hazlitt, to tell us about this, because if there's anybody who knows about secret content, well, I'm just saying it's Tom.
It's Tom. Well, so this is a little special in my heart because this is replacing the CSA course that I did several years ago. And the funny thing is the CSA course may seem outdated, but the problem is they haven't updated the exam at all until recently. So we still have people passing, but that exam expires February, right? And so Tom, take it here from
Save us, Tom, save us.
No, absolutely. So I would say certainly an expert in secret content, not an expert in anything else. But
that's not encouraging. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till we make it. So we do have, it is live on the site right now, in an early access development preview, the Certified Solutions Architect professional level course for AWS. So I want to talk to you about what this course currently has. So it currently has 20 live hands-on labs. So those were designed and developed by our trainee architect, Craig Arcuri. And you can go in and you can take all 20 of those right now in the course, in the live syllabus. Currently, Adrian Cantrell is working on the video lessons interactive diagram for this particular course. He has 30 of the course videos already completed. And when you go to the course syllabus on linuxacademy.com, you will right now see the full syllabus. So all the videos that are released and or coming soon. And he's going to be releasing new videos every day. So every day, if you check back in, you're just going to see 1, 2, 3, or 4 more that he has posted. And this is going to continue through early February when the course will be complete. And that is when AWS has the switch over for the exams. There's also already an 80 question final exam that is also published in live as part of the course. There may be some tweaking in the questions there as well and some additions of questions, but that is live there if you want to go in and practice under the new style of questions that they're going to have on this particular exam. So as Anthony said, our plan is to get this in place before the new version of the exam goes live. And we just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to start the study before they make the switch over, so that when they do make the switch over, if you already have the exam scheduled, you'll be ready to go. So you can jump in and start exploring that content now. But again, just be mindful that it is not a complete course. It is an early access course. So it's not going to have everything there. There still may be some spelling or grammatical errors here and there, but we're making sure to go through that, as everything gets deployed out, and then we'll have the final course done within a couple of weeks.
That's awesome, Tom. And just real quick, it's not 1.75 hours of learning for sure. There's 20 hands-on labs, so that's for sure not the case.
No, I think that's what's live now. I think for the videos.
Okay, from the early release.
We put all the videos together. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Not including the hands-on labs.
The 20 hands-on labs, I mean, that's already about 15 hours worth of content right there. So, and that is all live, of course.
All right. So I got to do this. I know we're going on to questions next, but I just got to take a second.
We can start right now.
I got to take a second to answer some questions that are already in there. First off, question number 1, URL to cloud migration in AWS. All right. If you can't find it, Advanced Search and Learning Center, bam, right there. Shows just released.
Very good.
Number 2, when are you going to release Kali Linux Deep Dive? Last Tuesday.
Just did.
That is satisfaction, instant satisfaction, if I've ever seen it. And literally, the raves that we're getting, I get a lot of people tweeting me and on LinkedIn saying, this is an amazing course. Yep. So it's probably, I'm going to say, we got a lot of the best training courses out there, for sure, on the market. And the next question is, what about CSA Associate? Bam! Already refreshed exam standards. And in fact, Tom, do you want to take a second? Don't necessarily give away all of our secrets and our processes, but tell us how much, why don't you talk about the team and how much they actually monitor the content and changes that you've kind of put in place since becoming VP to make sure that we are up to date and content changes get out there whenever something changes.
Sure. We've been working really hard, especially at the beginning of this year, to put in a lot of new processes to help support and update content fixes and or when new content has to be generated into courses as quickly as possible. And we are really trying to reduce the time frame for when either an issue is found in one of our courses, meaning content is incorrect, or there's some sort of mistake that needs to be fixed, and or where maybe objectives have changed on a particular exam, or new features or services have been introduced into a platform, right? How are we getting that information, and how internally are we making decisions about when we are going to execute on fixing the fixes, adding the updates? And so that is something we have been building out as part of expanding our content support management team, and really building a lot of processes in place to speed up this process as much as we can. Because we realize, especially we've noticed with most of the cloud platforms, as well as Linux, as well as that their refresh cycles for exams are becoming much faster. So just to give you an example, right, obviously we have the early development preview for the CSA Pro, but also the AWS DevOps Pro went into a very short beta a couple of months ago, disappeared, but then came back, and it was announced in early January that there was going to be a hard switch date between the current DevOps Pro and what their new DevOps Pro exam is going to be. And so, we obviously identified that right away and immediately switched course to make sure that we can have the course updated and deployed out. And Craig Arcuri is working on that right now. So that is ready for when the cutover occurs. And that was something where we just didn't have a lot of time from the announcement from AWS to when they're actually doing the cutover. So, with a lot of the internal processes that we have, we are now more able to more quickly shift and refocus on things that have a more time-sensitive nature. And we are building out a team to just continue to make that process even faster.
Yeah, check us out. We're actually hiring quite a bit. linuxacademy.com/careers. And I want to take 1 second. Tom, thank you so much for taking a moment to explain that. But there is confusion in the chat room on the CSA course, okay? No. So I'm going to clarify this.
All right, this is question time.
The 1.75 that you saw in terms of hours, that is the current amount of time that we have for the videos there. The course is only 10% complete or so from a video standpoint.
Yeah.
We are making it available before it's done. We don't generally do this because it usually causes issues, but we're going to do it anyway for our students so you can watch it as it goes. Adrian is uploading videos almost daily to this.
Yeah.
The hands-on labs are not included in that time, but the hands-on labs are already available as part of that course as well. So when all said and done, no, you can't take a week and get it unless you spend all day every day.
If you got nothing else to do, you've got about 18 hours on your hands.
It'll probably be between a 30 and 40-hour course when all said and done.
If you were to tell me you could spend 30 hours and become AWS certified, well, you could spend, that's 30 hours that would change your life.
Yeah. Yeah, it really would. And Aaron, for wanting a job, you just confused everybody. So, you're just, we're going to remember that.
We're watching.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, well, those are good questions. You guys still have a chance to submit a few more. We'll still be watching the live stream, but we're almost done, so we got to get a few more gems up.
We got to.
We got to. Well, this is trivia, by the way. Which company originally developed Azure's multi-factor authentication platform? Because you'd think maybe it was Microsoft, but it was not. Which company originally developed Azure's multi-factor authentication platform?
Actually, when I was fresh out of college, I knew somebody who had it's an MFA, and it was text-based MFA, sends text messages, and Microsoft bought them. I actually don't know.
It might have been them. Yeah? Yeah? Is that?
Wow. I think, I don't know for sure.
Yeah. All right, so
that sounds familiar.
I don't know if we've gotten it yet. I don't think the chat room's gotten it yet. No. This is a really good one.
It's not possible.
This is a good one.
Google it.
All right, okay, so Oracle or Google, Intrust, Novell. Novell's a good one because they had a lot of patents from Novell. That could have totally been it. But that was a little early. I don't think they're doing two-factor. All right, you ready for the reveal?
We're going to have to do it.
Phone factor. Phone factor. You got it. You got it. I wouldn't have gotten that.
What?
Well, you kind of, you just couldn't remember the name, but that was it. That was it. All right, so I guess you get the gems for this one because you need them.
I'm running a little low. I only have 39,000 left to give away.
There's that sale coming.
I'm a little low.
We had a lot. We had a lot last week. We have a lot next week. Well, let's take a moment though and talk a little bit about what we did recently. Just recently, we released some great courses. If you didn't see last week's live stream or Anthony's recap video, which was also outrageously great.
Yeah, the Microsoft AZ100, Amazon EKS Deep Dive, AWS Certified Big Data, new labs added to there, Introduction to Cloud Migration using Amazon Web Services, Cloud Security Fundamentals, Kali Linux Deep Dive.
There it is.
CompTIA Pen Test Plus. Check out our security library. We launched that in, I think it was July. And there's a lot of
growing.
certifications.
Yeah.
Certified Ethical Hacker, Security Plus, all of that stuff.
Some fun
is
stuff
in there.
in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Hadoop Quick Start. That was all last Tuesday.
Yep.
And this Tuesday we did Linux Operating System Fundamentals, Network Subnetting Fundamentals, Puppet Quick Start, System Tooling with Go, Ansible Quick Start, Git Quick Start, Google Cloud Concepts, Google Cloud Functions, Migrating virtual machines and databases to the Google Cloud, monitoring Kubernetes with Prometheus. And next week we are launching, you have to come to find out.
That's a good solid spread though. That's really nice. It's the last 12 months or so have just been nonstop. Content like nonstop.
Well, so when people request stuff, you go to linuxacademy.com to ideas.aha.io, but we're watching the monitor, we're watching the industry, our content strategy, but I'll tell you what right now, our goal is to get you what you want. It's impossible to get every single thing. It's literally impossible, but we're working the best we can to get you everything you want.
Yeah.
The largest cloud training hands-on training library on the planet. Our content ratings are shooting through the roof. The standards, the team has done an amazing job. Huge platform updates. Again, if you're looking for something or if you're not sure we have it, there's a pretty good chance we have it nowadays. Go to Advanced Search.
Yeah.
Check it out. Go to the Learning
that.
Center.
Definitely.
Check it out.
You can do the chronological view right
Yeah.
there. I mean, if you've been a member for the last year, just think about how much your membership has increased in value. It's mind-blowing.
Instant Labs, the Cloud Playground, all of those are more resources in the back end.
Yeah.
We're throwing it all out there. We're optimizing your learning time. We're making sure you're set up for success. Training architect team, development team, but there's a whole operations team at Linux Academy. We have production crews, we have marketing crews, we have sales crews, we have
Community
customer
crews.
success crews, we have full-time support crews.
Yep.
And everybody we do at Linux Academy we like having on as a team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and there's really good stuff in the works. So
community crews.
That's right.
With podcasts.
So it's never been a better time than right now to win a free year of training. Go to linuxacademy.com/live for more information. We'll be giving it away on the next live show.
$449 of value,
That's gonna be-
$449.
That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out, linuxacademy.com/live. If you're not a member yet, although what's the matter with you? And then thank you for celebrating with us.
7-day free trial or
Yep.
community edition.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. And like we said, one more BAT live show, different BAT day, but same BAT time, January 29th.
Bat? Are you saying bat?
Yeah, you never watched Batman?
Well, no, I've seen Batman. I don't know the context here.
The old 60s Batman at the
Okay,
end
no,
of the
so
show.
I have not seen the old 60s
It's good,
Batman.
it's good, it's good. It's got to be on YouTube.
Batman, the cartoon or whatever that was.
Yeah, that was really good. I really like the Batman.
Started watching
cartoon.
that again.
Yeah, me too with the kids. It's
nostalgic.
Super good. So anyways, but we won't be talking about Batman next live show. We will be talking about
Iron
more.
Man. We were talking about Iron Man.
Yeah, definitely. Tuesday, January 29th. Wow, that's going to be a heck of a show.
Last live show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
It's going to be our biggest.
Yeah.
And between now and then, because I went up to see the snow, I didn't get to give away all the gems I was
So you
wanting
got
to
gyms
do.
to give away.
I'm going to give away 6,000 gems between now and then on Anthony D. James' Twitter. Not to one person. It's generally 250. I like everybody getting the love.
I can make 200 Twitter accounts.
Yeah, so as you can tell when you guys saw my link, I have some gems to give away.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow me at Anthony D. James.
Absolutely.
We're going to interact. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to connect you with other members of the team. Reach out if you have questions to our team in the Linux Academy community or Slack as well, slack.linuxacademy.com. We love our students. We love working with you. We're all here because we love this technology. We love helping people. We love the conversation. So look forward to seeing you on the next live show. Thanks for everybody who helped share in all of our announcements and celebrate with our content team and the company. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you later.